nice, and it started to be a little more like the holidays, Mike.
It will, finally. Tomorrow will be a lot more bracing out there than we've had in recent days. Today was gorgeous, 66
really nice.
degrees. Let me show you the time lapse. This is our last sunset of autumn as winter begins tomorrow. At 9:28 a.m. Shortest day of the year for daylight, and then it gets a little bit longer each day. And it's going to be a lot colder tomorrow. We go from the 66 that we had at 3 o'clock today. Front comes through around midnight. We drop down to the low to mid-20s by morning. An inch or two of snow between about 6 a.m. and noon. And then clear and cold by the time we're talking tomorrow night. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-teens. So quite the change. 66 today was only 3 shy of the record set back in 1894. Record low minus 16. The normal is at 42 and at 17. Right now, temperatures 43 downtown. It's a little bit colder out the airport at 36. Pressure's falling. Winds are still out of the south as the cold front has not yet arrived. Here's where it's happening to the north of us. 19 at Casper and Jackson, 29 at Cheyenne. The front just now entering northern Colorado. As it pushes southward, the air is pretty dry, and it's going to take a while for that precipitation to develop. So watch what happens between 10 p.m. tonight and midnight. The front comes through the Denver area. Winds will shift, become northerly, but the skies are still mostly clear. By the time we get to about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, clouds begin to develop. We don't really see the snow here until about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. But that should be, with the colder temperatures, enough to slick up the bridges and the ramps for tomorrow morning's drive. Notice the mountains getting pretty decent snow late tonight and early tomorrow morning. By tomorrow morning, temperatures down into the 20s on the plains, teens expected in the mountains. Front range numbers definitely cold enough to make those bridges and ramps ice up because the air gets underneath those and cools them off quicker, so be careful with that in the morning. So here's 6 a.m. Light snows falling along the I-25 corridor, a little bit heavier up into the foothills. I think the peak of it is 6 a.m. until about 9 to noon, and then right after noon this thing will start to cut down a little bit. It's not a major storm. The air's coming in from central Canada. It's cold, but it's relatively dry, and so in the afternoon things really dry out by about 6 p.m. Snow totals will be pretty decent in the mountains, 4 to 8 inches for the most part, and 1 to 2 in the Denver area, a little bit heavier up toward Fort Collins, and maybe about 4 inches up toward Cheyenne, Wyoming. Highs tomorrow only going to be in the 20s here, still some mid-30s to the southeast. Metro area, a lot different kind of day for the first day of winter with highs only in the 20s. We'll see teens to near 20 in the mountains. Forecast as far as tomorrow night and then Friday, skies clear. Friday will be a nice sunny day. New storm, although a weak one, starts to move in on Saturday. So tonight's forecast calls for light snow late and 20 for a low. Tomorrow, an inch or two of snow tapering off in the afternoon, much colder at 25. Bounces back a bit on Friday. Flurries, I don't think a big accumulation on Saturday. And then heading into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the Arctic air is not going to be quite as cold as earlier anticipated. That's going to slide off to the east of us. So by Christmas Day, merry and bright with a high of 45 degrees.